Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori. In this video today, I wanted to come on and share about the current energies that we are moving through. So the physical shifting that a lot of us are experiencing on an energetic level. And what's been happening the last week, maybe week and a half, and for the next couple of days, is there is a massive amount of clearing and purging that we are courageously doing in our physical forms. And I'm going through it as well, so I wanted to come on and share pretty authentically about what I'm currently moving through, how I'm moving through it, and what is it? What is it that what's going on? Because what's happening is that we can't see the energy, but we can feel the energy. And so what that means is that we can feel our emotions, we can feel our thoughts, see and feel the beliefs that are coming up. But it's hard to understand, why is it coming up? Why is it coming up again? Why is it so powerful? Why does it feel like it's not mine necessarily? Why am I feeling once again so depleted, so depressed, so lethargic, so exhausted? Why are these irrational fears, irrational thoughts and beliefs coming up? Why am I behaving in ways that I didn't think I would behave in, right? We don't understand necessarily the why, because the answer is that it's an energetic shift. That's the why. And it's not personal. It's not anything that we each as a human being have done to create it. Meaning, it's not a consequence to actions that you've taken. It's not a consequence to a behavior that you did in the past. It's literally energy moving out, clearing, purging through your physical form. So from a higher perspective, there is an actual physical, energetic shift, consciousness shift that is happening physically. That's what we call the ascension. And when we are courageously and bravely and consciously allowing ourselves to go through it, which most of us that are aware of the ascension are doing right now. We are becoming extremely aware and conscious of this physical ascension. And of course, that means that you are feeling more, listening to your thoughts more and your beliefs more. So they become more intense, right? But as this is happening, there is a experience at the same time of really, because it's hard to understand what's happening because we've never done this, we beat ourselves up, we blame ourselves, we shame ourselves, we compare ourselves, right? I have been talking about this for months, and the reason that this is like the reoccurring kind of message is because these energetic shifts that our physical form is going through doesn't just happen in a 2-week portal that we go through. It doesn't just happen in one energetic month, right? The month of July, this is what we're experiencing. The month of June, this is what we're going through. This is a very slow process. And so to click into another frequency, right, which means that your physical body moves into the next highest frequency notch, that can take months. And so although I and other people talk about shifting the frequency, shifting your consciousness, oh my God, we just moved through a portal, oh my goodness, we just clicked, right? That happened in that now moment, but because we live in linear time, which means that our time frame is stretched, that click into that next highest frequency can be experienced in the third dimension as weeks or perhaps even months. Okay, so this process of shifting consciousness, which means that the energy inside your physical form, we all hold massive amounts of energy. We are energetic beings. As it begins to shift out of a denser consciousness, so the spectrum of 3D, into the next spectrum of consciousness, which is the 4D, physically anchoring 4D consciousness. You are clearing, and we all know this, right? But the purpose of this video is to explain to you what is happening in this current now moment for many of us, in this July portal. There is an intensified or quickening of these lower consciousness frequencies, the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that are coming up right now. There's a quickening that's happening because of the intense energy and light that is coming from the sun and coming straight into your channel, that is much more quickly, rapidly taking that consciousness, breaking it up even more, and pushing it through. And the reason I use the word quickening is because it is happening much faster right now. So what that means is that it feels as if you may be in a pressure cooker, or that you are like literally almost trapped or handcuffed to these like very dense human experiences that are extremely uncomfortable. The reason they're so uncomfortable is because we never really allowed ourselves to deeply feel them as they were coming in through the experience we were having outside of ourselves that created those emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. So we had an experience, let's just say, with a massive breakup with somebody 20 years ago. And the heartache and the thoughts and beliefs that came from that. I'm not lovable. I'll never be loved. I'll never be seen. Whatever it may be, right? There's a lot of stories that come along with traumatic experiences. When those emotions, thoughts, and beliefs come in through that experience, it's literally moved in, and then you digest it and experience it through emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. When those intense feelings, emotions come in, many of us don't clear them out or process them completely because they're too intense. And so they are stored inside of our beautiful physical body, which is energetic. Okay? And so what is happening is the intensity in which the light is coming down right now is so fast. It's spinning so much quicker than a lot of other times that we have been like inundated with light from the sun. Light codes, not sunlight. It's very different. It's not sunlight that we're speaking of. We're speaking of light codes, high frequency light codes that are designed to turn us on, activate us, spin the energy. Right now, they are so intense. They're spinning so fast. Imagine it like a tornado, okay? Like this massive tornado of light that's coming in. And when it comes in, my God, it creates a freaking storm, right? So it's spinning in the body and it is creating storms, so to speak. It's disrupting our peaceful walk, our peaceful life, our beautiful life. Wait, I have everything under control. Everything's great. Why? What the freak is happening right now, right? Holy shit. I don't know what's going on. What is this? The tornado that's going on inside of you is that there are dense consciousnesses from past traumatic experiences, regardless of whether you know them or not. That's not important. What's important is that you are acknowledging, recognizing, and seeing what's coming up from the storm, from the high frequency light. What is coming up? What emotions? What thoughts? And my God, you guys, they are heavy. And the reason they feel so heavy right now, intense, palpable, is because there is a massive amount of that dense consciousness that is being disrupted because of the intense spinning of the light coming down. The light coming in is so fast that it is breaking up that denser consciousness in a much more massive way. So you can imagine that if it's an egg, right? And you kind of crack the egg a little bit and that the white shell cracks, right? That's like what's been happening to us, right? It's like we start to crack and then there's these dense consciousnesses that pop open a little bit. You can kind of see through, you feel a little bit. It's like, oh my God, these things are coming through me, these emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, right? And you're experiencing them, you're conscious of them, you're allowing them to move through you. What's happening right now is that literally that egg is being broken open. It's not just the cracking of the white shell. It is a massive breaking up of that egg. And so you are diving into, consciously or unconsciously, choosing to or not choosing to, it's happening regardless. That egg is cracking wide open and there are deep, deep consciousnesses that are being asked to please see me so that I can move through you. Please acknowledge me so I can move through you. Please love me so that I can get out of you so that you can move into that next click. Here's what happens as the human that we are. We are programmed to, one, think that there's something wrong with us, that we're bad, that we should be ashamed of these experiences, these emotions, these thoughts and beliefs that we have. And so we hide them. We pretend we're not feeling them. We do our best to try to not feel them, right? So how can I bypass this really intense human experience I'm having? And there are a lot of people in the spiritual community that try to almost like dishonor the very intense human experiences that we're having, which is an absolute disservice because this is part of the ascension process. You know, moving into your heart is a beautiful thing to do. But if you're trying to move into your heart and feel unity consciousness or oneness or love because you don't want to feel what's popping up and being asked to be seen, that's bypassing this human journey, this human experience, right? So you want to be really cognizant of and clear on how you start to move through these things because it's extremely scary, it's extremely uncomfortable and nauseating at times to have to sort of watch this egg cracking, especially right now. It is so intense, and experience it. But what they want us to start to do, the beings that are guiding us, your higher self, your I am presence, they want us to begin to learn how to move into what they call heart-centered consciousness. Now, that is not saying that you're going to move into your heart and feel this love and this bliss and this joy for everything. That's bypassing your human journey, okay? If you try to move into love and heart and all of that while your physicality, your physical form is asking you to please see these parts of you, please love them, and you're saying, oh, this isn't good, this isn't right, I shouldn't be feeling these, this means I'm not ascending, this means I'm not shifting, this means I'm not good, this means there's something wrong with me, right? Then you are denying who you are. You're denying your humanness. So heart-centered consciousness is when you move into that centered space within your heart while you are in your human journey, which means that you are feeling your emotions, feeling those thoughts, feeling those beliefs, and learning how to do it from a space of heart-centered consciousness, which is, can I love myself through this? As opposed to, I'm going to get out of those human emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. I'm going to move myself into my heart center, and I am going to feel love and unity and oneness, and everything's going to be great and blissful. So you're escaping that humanness, right? That third dimensional aspect of you. Oh, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move into my heart and just live in my heart and try to move into that blissful state and just pretend everything's great, That's bypassing. That's ignoring your human journey. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the human journey of purging, clearing, processing these dense consciousnesses. This is part of the ascension process. This is the most important part. This is where we learn how to be in these higher states of consciousness we're moving into. What better way to learn how to do it than to move through it and watch ourselves practice? It's quite easy to shift out of the very uncomfortable emotions and just pretend that they don't exist. Pretend that we're not feeling them. Try to escape out of them, right? It's very easy to stay in a heart-centered space when you're not allowing yourself to feel the intense, dense consciousnesses that are coming up. It's easy. Oh, it's so easy to be in this space of unity, of oneness, of love, of bliss, of joy. But when you're being asked to stand in the tornado of your humanness, the tornado of those emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, that's ascension. That's courage. That's the human journey, you guys. That's what we're being asked to do. Stand in the freaking eye of that tornado and love every single aspect that's coming up. Just love it. Try to put your arms around yourself when you are feeling anger, rage, discomfort, unalignment, not being in alignment, lonely, discouraged, I failed, I'm behind, whatever it is, I'm lazy, I can't do this, I'll never be able to do this, whatever, all of these human, powerful emotions and thoughts and beliefs that are being stirred up once again. And so we're in this tornado that's coming through us, and we are being asked to learn how to be in a heart-centered consciousness, which is, can I love myself through this? Is there any way that I can start? And this requires us to be the observer, right? So you have to be able to observe what you're experiencing in order to love it, which is very hard. But this is how we learn how to move through this. You guys, we can't stop this process of ascension. And there are many days where it's like, enough is enough, right? When is this going to stop? But I'm going through it as well. And I'm watching myself shift energetically, physically, in a consciousness level, on an energetic consciousness level. I'm watching it. And I am watching myself say, well, what's wrong with me? I'm a teacher. I shouldn't be feeling these dense fears, this lack mentality, this insecurity, this comparison, just massive amounts of fear, right? And as I'm laying in bed, waking up to these intense emotions, I'm thinking, okay, what is this? Let me dissect this. What is this? And they began to show me exactly what it is. So let me show you the picture of what's actually happening to us, because we are designed to go through this, you guys. We're designed to do this right now. Everything you're going through, everything is designed. It's designed to happen this way. There's nothing that's happening to you that is not supposed to happen. Trying to explain to the human what it means to physically shift consciousness is extremely challenging, because first of all, the human doesn't want to experience it. It's very uncomfortable. And I don't care who you are, what you look like, how much money you have, what kind of a spiritual teacher you may be, how many followers you have. We all have dense physical emotions, thoughts, and beliefs that are still clearing out of us. It doesn't matter who you are. And to deny that human experience is an absolute disservice. To try to pretend. What I'm hoping from this video, and perhaps other videos that I start to do, is that this becomes the norm. Just devouring the uncomfortableness, devouring all of the crunchy, crappy shit we're going through that we don't want to feel, that we don't want to experience. That actually, the more that this is felt, experienced, and seen, the more we should be cheering for ourselves. The more we should be saying, good, keep going, let it come up. What if the more intense things that you were experiencing that you didn't like was an even bigger sign that you were ascending? What if feeling love and bliss and joy and peace was second to the actual crunchy, uncomfortable emotions, thoughts, and beliefs you were feeling? What if we were teaching that the more you dive into that shit, that crap, that uncomfortableness, the faster you're shifting? The more you're actually in higher states of consciousness. What if that's the way we spun it? How much pain are you in today? How much uncomfortableness are you in today? How much fear are you in today? How much anxiety are you in today? How much rage are you in today? How much anger are you feeling today? What if we framed it as that instead of how much love are you feeling? How much joy are you feeling? How much peace are you feeling? Because that's going to happen when we're in these higher states of consciousness. But what if we start reframing this and saying, oh my God, you guys, I was in massive amounts of anger today, massive amounts of rage today, massive amounts of pain. I was in so much pain today. Great. That's so awesome. Holy shit. That means you're shifting even faster. Keep going, right? This is not about the hamster wheel of playing in that fear, anger, and rage. It's about honoring it, seeing it, feeling it, loving it, and observing it from a heart-centered consciousness, observing it from the recognition that you're a human journeying through this as a light being in that human form, shifting into higher states of consciousness. And we believe through the programming of this spiritual journey and this spiritual ascension that if we tap into and pull in and constantly try to be in these higher states, love, joy, peace, that means we're shifting. That means we're in these higher states of consciousness. And what an absolute disservice that is to your human journey. Because then you are denying your humanness. You're denying every human experience you chose to have. Every human experience that you honorably and courageously dropped down into experience. And if it's coming up, love the shit out of it. Honor it. It's courageous what we're doing, you guys. And there are programs there are programs and paradigms in the ascension journey that makes us feel bad if we're in these experiences, makes us feel like we're not doing it right if we're feeling our human emotions. And I'm tired of that. It's not healthy for us. What's healthy for us is to be present in what we're experiencing, to start to reframe the way we see it, reframe what we're going through. Because as I'm laying in my bed this morning and I'm feeling all of these really uncomfortable fears, beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and I know who I am. I know what I can channel at any given moment. I know who I'm attached, who I'm connected to, and who I connect with every second of my day, these higher dimensional beings. I know the book I'm downloading right now about the actual entire Earth journey. And yet I'm lying in bed with these fears and these thoughts and emotions that are very human, very uncomfortable. And so how do I hold that? How do I make sense of that? I recognize that this is my human journey, that I've digested this consciousness, that this consciousness, beyond anything, this consciousness that I'm feeling in my bed this morning is designed to come up right now to clear out. And that no matter what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, how uncomfortable it is only coming up to bring me into the next highest version of me. It is only coming up to bring me into the next highest version of who I am. And if I were to bypass it by trying to move into my heart center and feel love, meaning like, oh, I'm just going to move into love and bliss and joy and peace. Can I squeeze myself into that space? How dare I? I'm turning my back on my human experience. I'm turning my back on my journey. I'm turning my back on who I am. And I don't want to turn my back. It takes way more courage, you guys, to sit in this crap that we're feeling. Sit in it meaning watch it, observe it, feel it, see it, hear it as the observer, and then through heart-centered consciousness, love ourselves. Don't judge ourselves, love ourselves. And how dare any human tell us to shift out of that in order to be in higher states of consciousness, in order to ascend. We need to shift out of, we need to move out of, we need to not be in that. This is the ascension. Me laying in my bed, crying, feeling fear, doubt, lack, insecurity, like just this voided space of void. For me to deny that and ignore that and make that not okay, that's denying me. I am all of this. I am this human journey and this density that's moving through me. I am these higher aspects of me, right? The higher self and I am presence. I am all of it. Why the freak would I deny any aspect of it? Just because it doesn't feel good? Just because I don't want to? I'm going to have a temper tantrum and try to skip out of it and feel bliss instead and feel love instead and feel joy instead? You guys, these consciousnesses are going to come up again and again and again. This is the process. This is the design of ascension. It is all of this pain. It is all of this anger. It's all of this. This is the juice of it. And to be completely honest, it breaks my heart to know that there are programs and paradigms within the ascension journey that are basically unconsciously or consciously teaching people that this part of the journey you want to get out of, you want to escape. You want to move into joy, love, peace. Those are coming. Those are already in you. They're there. They're there, you guys. We're feeling those things. We have that in us. What's coming up has to be cleared out. And there will be weeks where we won't be feeling this density, right? And there will be weeks where we will. And I guarantee you, what's going to be happening for many of us is that this squeezing in and portal popping out of process that we're in right now, they will become more intense, so they're going to happen quickly and in a shorter amount of time. So within a week and a half or 2 week process, we'll be quickening this shift and clicking into the next frequency. So let me quickly just show you what's happening, okay? So this is the current, we're moving through a portal, okay? So here's the human body. Here's my awesome human body, right? Whatever. Here's the intense tornado of energy that's coming into this human body. This is an intense amount of energy coming in light codes, right now. and it's coming through our channel, straight in. And we've got pockets of consciousness in here, thoughts, emotions, beliefs, traumas, whatever it is, right? They're clearing out, but we still have them in here. This is the human journey. I don't care who you are. You're clearing this out. And we're honoring this, you guys. So this could be, all in this pocket could be rage, anger, fear, distrust, sadness. Who knows what's in this pocket, right? And when this light, this spinning, intense spinning of light comes in, it literally cracks this open. And when it cracks this open, right, cracks it open, whatever's held inside that density is now going to be experienced. Anger, rage, fear, distrust, sadness, insecurity, lack, failure, whatever it is. And it's going to pop up and you're going to start to experience it and feel it. And what we do a lot of times is we get angry that we're feeling it. We beat ourselves up. We judge it, right? Maybe we're starting to observe it and feel it. And it's like, oh my God, this is so uncomfortable, right? And then it starts to move out through the channel with the light. It's being cleared out. That is what it means to move through a portal, which is what we're doing right now. We're moving through a massive portal fast. The quickening. It's a quickening portal. So we are moving. Our body is physically walking through this portal. This portal is the high frequency light that's coming through right now. So imagine that this body, which is you, is slowly walking through this portal, or quickly walking through this portal, okay? And as it walks through this portal, this high frequency spinning of light, it's almost like you're going through a car wash, okay? So you can imagine yourself going through a car wash. And as you're walking through this portal, which is about 2 weeks, right? So we're coming out of it. In a couple of days, we'll be out of it. This high frequency light coming in is moving through the body, cracking open like an egg, these densities in a very massive way, literally breaking it open for the sole purpose of moving you into that next highest frequency. So thank God it's so intense, right? Breaking it open so that you can appear on this other side of the portal with less of this density and in the next highest frequency notch that your physical form is holding. So it could be that you, in this aspect right here, you are a 3.9 frequency. You're going to move through this portal and you're literally going to be standing in a 4.0 frequency. That's the click, right? This portal is designed, this light coming in right now is designed to move you into that next click. This is ascension. This is it right here. And if you can move into the heart-centered consciousness, your beautiful heart, if you can move into the beautiful heart, not by denying or trying to escape the egg cracking, right? I want to feel love. I want to feel joy. I want to feel bliss. I want to feel these higher frequencies. Well, guess what? You're not. Guess what's happening? You're moving through this portal. Don't deny it. This is ascension. This is what we are here to do. This is how you get to the next frequency. You can't jump over here and be in this next click without honoring the cracking of these eggs. You can't. That's spiritual bypassing. And guess what? It's not real. You will find yourself not being who you actually are. You will be denying and denying and denying your humanness if you bypass. You will deny it and pretend and pretend and pretend. You'll be living a false reality. You won't be living your truth. You won't be living your authenticity. So you find yourself doing your best to move into the heart, not to escape, not to feel unity, not to feel love and bliss and joy, right? You're going to feel that no matter what. As you move into these higher frequencies, you will feel this. And you'll feel that love and bliss and joy throughout this. But you don't want to try to escape this by trying to move into the heart and say, oh, well, if I move into my heart, I'm going to be in that heart-centered consciousness and just be in love and bliss and joy and peace and harmony and all that. That's not a reality, you guys. That's happening for many of us. Come on. Let's get real. Let's get human. Let's open our eyes and embrace this. So you move into the heart through the loving of this journey. You move into the heart, you experience heart-centered consciousness, which is, I love you. I love you, Lori. I love whatever you're experiencing. I love this journey you're going through. I love that you hate it. I love that you're uncomfortable. I love that you want to cocoon. I love that you feel horrible about the fact that you want to cocoon and close down and shut down. I love you. 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 Not, let me stand in love and bliss and joy and be in this higher frequency. Let me ignore my humanness by moving into the heart and saying, oh, I'm just love, I'm just bliss, I'm just this. No. You are that. You are love and joy and bliss. Of course you are. And every once in a while you'll tap into that, but let's be real honest about the humanness of you. It's much harder to love yourself through this process than it is to just jump into the heart and say, I'm going to sit in love, I'm going to sit in bliss, I'm going to sit in joy. That's a lot easier than walking yourself courageously and lovingly through this journey. And there is absolutely nothing. How can you say there's anything wrong with this? How can you say there's something wrong with the egg cracking inside of you? Think about it. I'm laying in bed and I'm feeling all these emotions and thoughts and beliefs, and I don't like it, and it's uncomfortable, and I don't understand it. I don't know why. I don't get it. Right? But I know that it's happening to click me over here. I know I'm going to come out of it and be in a higher frequency in physical form. I know that. And then guess what? There's a whole other portal where more of this density is going to crack open. Nobody's immune to the density inside physical form. Nobody. We are all going through it. It's just that most of us don't share it. Why? Because we have lived in paradigms and programs for so long that to talk about the cracking of the eggs and what we're feeling as a human means that we're not, who are we to be teachers? Who are we to be higher dimensional journeymen? Who are we to be way showers and light workers? Who am I if I'm feeling the egg cracking, if I'm in anger and rage and fear and insecurity? Who am I? How can I stand in a stage of thousands and thousands of people and teach higher dimensional consciousness if I'm experiencing the egg cracking? I better not talk about my egg cracking. I better continue to just talk about these higher states of consciousness. And so a lot of people are doing that. But they are also currently going through this egg cracking. They just aren't talking about it. And so all of us that are courageously going through it are thinking we're nuts, are thinking we're crazy, are thinking that there's something wrong with us. Because there aren't enough of us teachers out there that are talking about, guess what? I'm cracking open some fucking massive eggs, excuse my language, but I'm cracking open some massive dense consciousness. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this process. And so when we are hearing about these light codes, well, you want to know what DNA, shifting DNA, activating DNA, dormant DNA, you want to know what that means? When you activate dormant DNA, this is the process. Your DNA is shifting. It's cracking open so that it can hold you in this higher frequency. So the DNA that's literally being activated is subtle. It's down here, right? It's a very subtle process. You can't feel necessarily the DNA. What you feel are the emotions, thoughts, and beliefs. But the DNA is underneath it all, shifting with your physical form. The DNA is moving from more carbon into a little bit more of a crystalline form. So this is happening sort of like underneath. It's underneath the layers of the physicality of it, which is like the emotions and thoughts and beliefs, right? Everything that we are really tangibly experiencing. And then below that, underneath that, is your actual DNA, the light codes that are designed to shift as the physical form shifts. And if you try to bypass it and only experience the higher frequencies, you're prolonging this process. You're prolonging the activation of the DNA, right? The more you can just allow this process to be, the quicker you'll go through it. This portal that we're going through right now, you guys, is massive. And the reason it's so massive is because it is fast. We are clicking into the next frequency so much faster. So literally, let's just say you're at a 3.9 and you're clicking into a 4.0. You're clicking into that within like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, where in the past it would take months to click into that next frequency. Months. We're clicking faster now. We're moving into that next frequency faster and then faster to the next one. It takes so much courage. You're doing it. You're doing it. We are doing it. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. And there will be days where you will feel that love and that joy and that bliss. You may feel it within hours of feeling that depression, anxiety, rage, anger. You may all of a sudden feel love and joy and bliss. It's in you. All of this is in you. But don't deny or try to get out of this process. Don't try to get out of it, which means this doesn't mean you wallow in it. This doesn't mean that you kind of like, oh, poor me, I'm a victim, I'm feeling all this, I'm going to really believe all of this, right? I'm going to just there's a difference between the hamster wheel of playing in it, which is like, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am, right? I'm these beliefs, I'm these thoughts, I'm these emotions. And I'm going to just sit in them and stir in them and play in them and listen to the stories. That's not what this is about. This journey is not about being in the hamster wheel of that egg that cracked. What it means is that you sit in it by, what am I feeling? What's coming up? What thoughts are coming up? What beliefs are coming up? You sit in it so that you can see it, acknowledge it, and then be conscious of it. So you sit and you acknowledge what's coming up. Oh my God, this is what's coming up for me. This is what's coming up for me. You're observing it. This is what's coming up for me. This is not me. I am not these emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, even though I am experiencing them. They are inside of me. I did experience this. It did get digested and it is clearing out. It's cracking wide open. It's in me to be seen, felt, loved, and released. So you have to sit with it in the sense that you have to acknowledge it. You have to feel it. You have to hear it. You have to think it. You have to believe it, right? As a belief from an observer's perspective. And then you come into heart-centered consciousness as much as you can and you love it through you. You love it. You try to just love this human journey. You love this human experience. Can you love this in some small way? Can you also start to remember that this is the ascension journey, whether you want to go through it or not? Guess what? You're going through it. And from a much higher perspective, from the light being that's inside your physical form, you wanted to do this. This is such a gift. This is a miraculous gift. And you are absolutely, unequivocally moving into another higher frequency of you and another higher frequency. And those aspects of us, this next click is even better than this. And the next place we go is even better. And even better, I mean, devouring these higher states of consciousness, which is the love, the joy, the peace, the unity, the present moment, the abundance, the manifestations, all of that stuff that we feel every once in a while, that we tap into, that we really crave to be in all the time, we are moving there. But we absolutely have to honor the eggs that are cracking. Just because these eggs crack, you guys, doesn't mean you're not moving over here. If anything, the more the eggs are cracking, the faster you're going to get over to that next click. I really wish that we can start shifting that paradigm, because there is this belief and this fear that is rampant in the spiritual ascension community, that if you are in rage or anger or fears or anything that is in a lower frequency, that if you're feeling that and if you're experiencing that, you better get out of it. You better shift. You better change your thoughts. You better move into your heart instead. You better move into your heart instead. No. Move into your heart while you're cracking the egg. Move into the heart while you're experiencing the shit you don't want to experience. That's the journey. Can I move into my heart space and feel heart-centered consciousness while I am going through this? That is way more multidimensional than escaping out of, pretending, not wanting to feel and experience so that you can shift into the heart or any higher state of consciousness, denying. Well, that's the lower aspect of me. I shouldn't be feeling these. I should be trying to move into higher states of consciousness. I should be trying to shift my frequency. This journey is shifting your frequency. This is doing it. This is shifting frequency. This. But what we want to do is we want to try to do it ourselves through the ego. The ego says, well, how do I increase my vibration? How do I shift my frequency? How do I move out of the egg cracking shit I don't want to feel? I want to be in the higher states of consciousness. We all do, you guys. We all want to be in the higher states of consciousness. But there is a natural process to ascension, and it's that picture. There's a natural process to ascension. Your ego doesn't like it. Personality doesn't like it. So you're trying to move into higher states of consciousness before your physical form is ready to. You're trying to move into the heart and pretend to be in love and peace and joy and unity when you're not there yet. And so guess what? Poof, you get thrown right back into your humanness and the eggs cracking. And then you're believing that there's something massively wrong with you if you can't hold these higher states of consciousness. What's wrong with me? I can't hold these higher states of consciousness. What's wrong with me? I can't stay in love, peace, joy, all that stuff. What's wrong with me? Nothing. This is the ascension journey. This is what it means to shift consciousness in physical form. This is it, you guys. So again, it's not about playing in it, which means it's not about, so for instance, when I was waking up this morning and feeling the denser experience, the denser emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, I didn't wallow in it. Okay? I felt it. I saw it. I experienced it. I listened to it. I was observing myself in it. But I didn't play in it as if it was me. I didn't get dirty with it. And like, what are the stories here? What do I need to learn about myself? What do I need to forgive about myself? What stories do I need to kind of understand about it? I didn't do that. I just watched, felt, heard, listened. I was observing it. I was observing it so I can get clear on it, conscious of it. Wow, what am I feeling? Holy shit, I'm feeling a huge amount of fear, huge amount of lack. My body was feeling massive amounts of anxiety, right? But I was doing it through the observer. And then I held the remembrance of what's going on here. So you're not in it where you're absorbed in it and you can't see. You want to watch it. You want to observe it as you're going through it. You don't want to be in it where you're like this and this is all you are. I am this fear, I am this lack, I am this insecurity, I am this anxiety. No, you want to come out of it and watch yourself experience it. That's how it moves through you. That's how it clears. And it's a real fine line when we learn how to do that. Because you don't want to ignore it, but you don't want to play in it and talk about it and be in these stories around it. You're observing it. Wow, look at what I'm feeling. Look at what I'm thinking. Look at what I believe. Look at what I'm clearing. Look at what I'm thinking. Look at what I'm believing. Look at what I'm feeling. Look at what's coming up. Look at what I'm clearing. If you can do that, see it like that, look at what I'm feeling. Look at what I'm experiencing. Look at how intense this is. Look at what I'm shifting. Look at what I'm clearing. It's a much different perspective. Look at what I'm shifting into. Holy shit, I'm shifting. This sucks. I don't like it, but I am courageously walking through this portal. Courageously, and I'm not judging. There's nothing wrong with this intense, dense human experience. Nothing wrong. To say that you have a lower aspect of you, or the lower part of you, or the third dimensional part of you, as if it's bad, as if it's wrong, that lower aspect of you is what's moving you through the ascension. It's natural. These lower aspects of you, denser aspects of you, third dimensional aspects of you, they're the gold. They're the ascension. They're the shifting. That is the juice of ascension. That's what's clearing out. You cannot move into higher states of consciousness without this stuff clearing out of you. I don't care who you are. And we're all doing it in the best way that we know how. And we're all sharing about it in the best way that we know how. And we're all teaching about it in the best way that we know how. But there are very few humans that are not clearing. So just because you don't hear people talking about it doesn't mean they aren't doing it. And I can tell you as a teacher that teaches these higher perspectives, that teaches about Akashic records and karma and dimensions, right? I just did a huge class on anchoring into the fourth dimension, right? We are not immune to this process, right? We're not immune to it. There's just most of us, we don't like to share about it because it looks as if there's something wrong with us, or, we should already be there since we're talking about it, right? We're going through it just like everybody else. We're just as human as everybody else. Just as human. We're no different than everybody else. We're just able to have bigger perspectives or a different perspective so that we can teach about what's happening. And we're going through it so we can teach about how to go through it. And we all want to feel these higher states of consciousness all the time. But we have to honor this process. We have to remember this process. I would just love to be able to start to create a paradigm or a program where we can rally around and cheer for the intense emotions we feel, the thoughts and beliefs we don't like when they come up. Cheer, like, yes, that's amazing. Holy shit, you had so much rage and anger. That's so awesome. You must be shifting. You must be really shifting into the next frequency. Oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens when you come out of it. That would be freaking amazing. Let's hold that paradigm. Let's hold that program. Instead of, oh my God, I'm so sorry you were going through that. I've been in these higher states of consciousness this whole time. How about, holy shit, you had that much rage and anger? Good for you. You must be really shifting. Whatever's coming up in your now moment is shifting you into the next highest frequency. Period. You just don't want to play in it. right? You don't want to play in it. So you want to do what you can to allow yourself to see it and observe it, and then you want to go about your day. Go outside, go for a walk, go do exercise, right? So you're not trying to escape it, but you're just trying to move through it in the most easy and graceful way that you can, right? So I didn't want to wallow in it. Wallowing in it would have been laying in my bed all morning, curling up and saying, poor me, poor me, poor me. No, instead I was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going through. I'm going to get up and go get some coffee. I'm going to go breathe some fresh air. Maybe I'll go to an exercise class. Nope, my body doesn't feel like it. Okay, I should share about this. Okay, I'm going to share about this. And then what I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe I'm going to go for a walk, be with trees, breathe, right? There's a difference between that type of perspective as opposed to, I don't want to feel this. How can I shift out of this? I need to shift out of this. I need to shift out of this. I need to shift out of this. You will naturally shift out of it if you just get up and start moving about your day in your every now moment. Difference. You will shift out of it just by observing it and then moving into the next moment without trying to escape it and shift it out of it. Instead, you say, oh, this is what I'm feeling, experiencing, thinking. Okay, that must mean that I'm shifting. Okay, great. This sucks. I hate this. What do I feel like doing right now? Okay, well, I can wallow in it by sitting in my bed, or I can get up and go grab my coffee or go get a green juice or listen to some music or go take a shower or go on a walk. You're not saying, I want to shift out of this. How do I shift out of this? How do I get out of this? I want to get out of this. No, you're saying, oh, okay, I'm not going to wallow in this. I'm going to just walk into the next now moment, feeling this, seeing this, hearing this. And as you walk into the next now moment, that which you were experiencing and feeling in that now moment is going to slowly start to dissolve as you start shifting out of it, that moment and into another moment. And then it may come in again 5 hours later, right? And then you observe it, hear it, feel it, acknowledge it. I'm shifting, I'm moving, whatever. And then you keep moving through your now moments. You keep moving through your day. You don't get stuck in it and paralyzed. So you're always moving with it, observing it as it comes in, but just continuing to move through your day. Without ignoring it, without judging it, without getting mad at yourself. And there are times where it will be so intense that you will need to literally stop and cry. You will need to stop and scream. You will need to stop and get rage out of your body, right? There's nothing wrong with clearing out that consciousness. It doesn't mean you're not going to be in higher states of consciousness, because in 6 hours, you may all of a sudden be in a higher field of consciousness. That's being multidimensional. We're experiencing our multidimensionality while we are purging the density. So I hope that's clear in terms of how to kind of walk through this. I'll say it one more time through the example of myself. I'm laying in bed this morning and then I wake up and I feel massive amounts of fear, anxiety, worry, stress, lack. I can't do this. I don't have whatever it is that I'm thinking, feeling, and believing. And then I also, at the exact same time, recognize and observe what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. And then I decide to just step into my next now moment, which is waking up, getting out of bed, and go taking a shower. That's all I think about. I don't say to myself, fuck, I got to get out of this. I don't like this. I don't want to feel this. Now, you're naturally going to want to do that. But just observe yourself, and all you need to do is say, what's my next now moment? I'm going to get up and go take a shower. That's your next now moment, not how do I get rid of this? Because you're not going to want to devour it and sulk in it, but you're not going to want to deny it, right? So you're observing it, and through the observation, it will slowly start to move out of you. The fear is that if I see it, feel it, experience it, and allow it to be, it's going to consume me. It doesn't. So I got up, I took a shower, and then I walked to my car, and I went to the store, and I got my coffee. And through that whole 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I was acknowledging what I was feeling. I was feeling it. I was hearing the thoughts. I was hearing the beliefs. I walked outside. I felt the breath. I felt the air, and I was breathing that air, and it started to shift me. I was like, oh my God, the fresh air sound feels really good. Present moment. Not, oh my God, I got to escape this stuff, right? So you're just openly allowing yourself to feel, think, be, whatever that is in each now moment without attaching to it, without consuming it, without devouring it. You're moving through, and without whatever is being experienced and felt and seen, you're just honoring it as the human that you are. It's the best way that I can describe it. So, however you go through it is perfect. However you experience is perfect. But I do want to preface that to really, sulk in it that's not necessarily the way that you want to. That's if you sulk in it and sort of like if I just laid in bed and really just kind of put the covers around me and said, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm believing, and just going through the spiraling of it, that doesn't necessarily make it go quicker, okay? That doesn't clear it faster. So a lot of us may think that, if I devour myself in it and I just sit in it and put the covers over my head and just be in it, that's going to make it go faster. No. What makes it go fast is by seeing it, acknowledging it, hearing it, listening to it this morning as I'm laying in bed, and then getting up. What's my next thing that I'm going to do? What's my next now moment? I'm going to continue to move in my day. I'm going to go for a bike ride. I'm going to go walk. I'm going to go make breakfast. I'm going to go turn the television on. I'm going to go turn the radio on. I'm going to listen to this YouTube video. What's my next now moment? That is not denying it. That is just saying, this is coming up. This is great. And I'm going to walk through my day with all of this. I'm going to walk through my day. You're walking through a portal. You're not freezing in the portal. You're not stopping in the middle of the portal. You're continuing to walk through the portal. You're continuing to walk through it. You don't have to freeze and devour that moment that you're experiencing rage, fear, anger. Right? You don't have to. You can allow yourself to feel it, think it, experience it, be in it. And then you can say, okay, what's my next now moment? So for me, it was to get up, take a shower, go get coffee, text message a couple different people, do a 1-minute clip on IG and Facebook to share, to do a YouTube video, and then I may just sit in meditation afterwards and just sit here for a little bit and ask my guides to come in and assist in clearing this, right? And honoring and acknowledging and loving myself through this, so that I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm going to get through this. You're okay. You're going to get through this. You're okay. We are all going through, well, I won't say all. Many of us are going through this. Many of us are courageously going through this. And if you could actually physically sit in front of your guides, in front of your family of light, in front of the aspect of you that dropped down into your physical form, they would be honoring you. They would be hugging you. They would be reminding you that, my God, you're doing this. You are doing this. Doing what, you would say? You are shifting into higher states of consciousness in your physical form and allowing the planet and humanity to shift. That you're doing it. And there is nothing wrong with how you do it, with the dense emotions you feel, with those crazy thoughts you have, with those irrational beliefs that are coming up. There's no such thing as doing it faster or better or quicker. You're just doing it. Period. And to hold judgment around it, to hold expectation around it, we understand, because that's the human condition in a third dimensional matrix. But from our perspective, there is no wrong, there is no right, there is no judgment, there is no faster or slower, there just is. You are designed to experience all of the density that is moving through you. The human just believes that there's something wrong with them. They're trying to squeeze around it, squeeze out of it, so they don't have to feel that really crunchy, dense experiences that are the third dimensional consciousness. And we understand that you want to feel and be in those higher states of consciousness that you are tapping into, and you will. You are. And you will and you are clearing out the density. And in each frequency shift that you move into, most of you aren't even aware that you're moving into it. Most of you aren't even aware when you click. But you can sort of become more aware of it, they're saying, if you start to recognize how you're living, how you're resonating, how you're experiencing your reality. But as you continue to click courageously into the next frequency, and then the next frequency, there will be less of this dense consciousness felt, experienced, listened to. It's clearing out of you. So in each of these portals that we are assisting the masses through, the humans popping out into that next highest frequency, and there will be less density in them, so that when they move through the next portal of high frequency light codes coming in, it won't be as much density needing to be cleared, and then so on and so on. This portal that all of you are moving through is so potent and powerful that you are all being knocked onto your asses, so to speak. It's just energy. It's just your physical form shifting. It's miraculous. Not comfortable for you, but it's miraculous. It's ascension. It's the human form ascending. It's the earth ascending. She already has. Okay? So I hope this video takes the pressure off you a little bit. Reminds you of what you're doing. Allows you to keep going courageously, that you don't need to try to shift out of it or try to move into anything other than what you're in. And keep going. Keep moving into the next now moment. What's next for me today? What's next for me today? Oh, look at, I'm shifting. Oh, look at, I'm in the tornado. Oh, look at what's coming up. This is how we need to start to view our ascension journey. Oh, look at how I'm feeling this morning. Fudge, man. I'm sick of this crap, right? Here I am again. What is this? I can't tap it. I can't tap into it. I don't understand it. I don't know why. I don't get it. But what I do know is that I'm shifting into that next frequency. Doesn't make it easier, but I know that's what's happening. Okay, I'm going to get up now. How do I shift out of this? How do I increase my frequency? How do I shift? How do I move into my heart? How do I, forget it. Just be. Just let yourself be human. Just know that you're a light being in that human form. Just know that you're shifting to the next highest frequency. And just move through it. Don't get stuck in it. Don't get caught up in it. Right? Don't get caught up in what you're experiencing. And don't try to figure it out and unravel it and make sense of it. Unless you really want to, go ahead. It feels to me like a waste of energy. I'd prefer to just keep going forward. Still acknowledging what I'm experiencing, but I don't want to waste my energy trying to figure it all out. It's just clearing out of me. It's cracking open to be cleared. It's not necessarily cracking open to really be dived into, explored, and understood. At least from my perspective. It's being cracked open to be felt, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to release, not to be judged, not to be understood necessarily. I love you all so much. I love each and every one of you for being here. This is intense. It takes so much courage. You designed yourself to go through this, whether you believe that right now or not. And it's not always easy, I get it, but you're not alone. And there's an aspect of you that understands all of this. There's an aspect of you that knows deeply all of this, that remembers all of this. And you are coming out of it. You're going to come out of this next portal and be in that next highest frequency. And then guess what? Another portal is going to come through, and we're going to do it together. We're going to shift together. So heart-centered consciousness is not moving into the heart to escape what you're feeling and thinking and believing so that you can be in this unity consciousness. Heart-centered consciousness is loving every single freaking thing that's coming up for you. That is courageous. That is loving yourself. That is heart-centered consciousness. Embracing and loving every single aspect of you. Not just moving into love. Feeling love. The larger perspective of love. The larger perspective of joy or peace. No. Move into that heart. Go for it. But can you love yourself through the rage? Can you love yourself through the anger? Can you love yourself through the fears and the doubts and the insecurities and whatever's coming up? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's heart-centered consciousness. Loving yourself. Loving the hell out of yourself through this. You can't start to tap into unity consciousness. You can't tap into loving others if you can't love your human journey. How the hell are you going to love others? You can't love the fact that you're going through rage and anger and fear and discomfort and insecurity and lack and all of these things. You're making it wrong and not okay. You're trying to escape it by going into that heart center and loving everything. But you're not making it okay what you're going through. You're not loving what you're going through. You're not loving and embracing what you're going through. How about you start with you? Start with loving what you're embracing and going through when you don't like it. Because how are you going to turn around and love and embrace somebody else that's going through something that you don't like? You got to start with you. I could go on and on and on, but it's already an hour and 15 minutes almost. So I'm going to stop. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with me. Thank you. And thank you for courageously walking through your path. If this resonates with you, please check the little thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. I'm doing my next live YouTube Q&A next Tuesday, the 16th at 4 p.m. Please join on this channel. Just show up at 4 p.m. Pacific, California time, on this channel, the 16th, and you'll see us live. If there is somebody that you know would resonate with this, that needs to hear this message, pass it on. Pass the message on. Let them hear this message. Thank you for being here. I listen to all your messages, and I read all your messages. I don't listen to them. I read them all. And I appreciate you all. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll see you in the live Q&A next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, California time, July 16th. And be gentle with yourselves.